What is going on, guys? I am back with another review of a day at an amusement park, and today I will be discussing on October 11th, 2025 at Knoebels. So let's just get right into this. So when I first got to the park, I walked around for a bit, and then after excuse me. Sorry. After I walked around for a bit and sat down near the new Power Surge for a bit because I was excited for it to open, I headed to get my Ride All Day wristband, and then afterwards I rope dropped flying turns like usual until the park opened. And then after first ride of the day on flying turns, I headed over to I think Phoenix. And then after Phoenix, I headed over to Fandango. And then after Fandango, I rode Downdraft. Shout out Laura at Fandango and Lily at Downdraft. And so anyways, after those two things, I headed over to Stratosphere. And then after Stratosphere, I headed over to Twister. Shout out goes to Julia, as well as the crew. And as well as the crew in general. And then after Twister, I headed over to the new Power Surge. Woo! Its grand debut. Shout out Mac at the new Power Surge. Woo! Yeah! Finally rode the new Power Surge. And let me tell you, it is a great fit for Knoebels. I'm really glad that they brought it back in a modern form. And yeah, it was awesome. It was great. And so, after the new Power Surge, I headed over to Impulse. And then after Impulse, I headed over to Scenic Skyway. And then after Scenic Skyway, I headed to Italian Trapeze. And then after Italian Trapeze, I headed over to Grand Carousel. And then after Grand Carousel, I headed over to Roto Jets. And then after Roto Jets, I think that's when I headed over to Paratrooper. And then after Paratrooper, I headed over to Flyer. And then after Flyer, I think that's when that might have been when I went to go get a re-ride on like Twister or something. And then after Twister, I might have headed over to Stratosphere at that point. And then after Stratosphere, I headed over to Fandango. And then after Fandango, I headed over to Phoenix. And then after Phoenix, that's when I headed over to Cosmotron. And then after Cosmotron, I rode Teacups. And then after Teacups, I headed to the round stand to get a cheese hot dog. And then after the cheese hot dog, I headed over to Grand Carousel. And then after Grand Carousel, I got a few rides in on the new Power Surge because it's such an amazing flat. And I missed having the Zamperla Power Surge at Knoebels. And yeah, so after that, after the new Power Surge, I headed over to Haunted Pioneer Train. And then after Haunted Pioneer Train, I headed for Knot in the rain. How fun is that? Yay! So, I got Knot in the rain, which was crazy. And once again, shout out goes to Julia and the crew at Twister. Yeah, they always do a great job at Twister. And yeah, so with that being said, shout out goes to the Knoebels staff in general for another awesome day at my favorite Pennsylvania amusement park. And so yeah, so that basically concludes this review of the day at Knoebels, which is my favorite Pennsylvania amusement park. Make sure to reply to me your thoughts on this video, and make sure to stay tuned for more coming soon here to Coaster Plus Music 19. And make sure to go check out my merch store on YouTube Shopping. There should be several products tagged in at least my recent videos, if not all my videos. And make sure to subscribe if you are new and turn on post notifications so you will not miss when I upload a new video. And I now do membership. So here's how it works. The yellow level, which is only $2.99 a month, gives you royalty-free badges, emojis, members-only shorts, and early access to new videos. And the green level, which is only $5.99 a month, gives you all the benefits of the yellow level plus a member shout out. So, if you want a membership, what are you waiting for? Become a member of Coaster Plus Music 19 today. And I will see you in the next